Sorry.
Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshuranmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namane Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhabhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Shri Gurudev Ki Shri Prabhupada Ki Shri Rupanuga Guruvaraga Ki Bhagavan Nishingadeva Ki Shri Nishinga Chaturdasi Ki Chaturdasi Palanghari Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Goprimanandi So, offering my humble obeisances, lotus feet, my beloved Diksha Guru, Nityali Buddhist, Vishishima Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Lotus feet, my beloved Shiksha and Sannyas Guru, Rupanugavara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Lotus feet to my beloved Shiksha Guru, Shri Bhaktividyam Bharati Maharaj. All our Rupanugavara Varga, all devotees present. Didi, Kishori, Mohan, Sudevi, Hare Krishna, all my senior God brothers, God sisters, especially God sisters, aging together.
All of us are aging together.
Old fossils and codgers. So it's very glorious, very gorgeous celebration, event, celebrating the appearance of Shri Nishingadev. Our Srila Gurudev really emphasized this day, the celebration of today. It was very, very important for him. He wanted reading of Srimad Bhagavatam all day. And when he spoke not so much about the fight between Hiranyakashipu and Nishingadev. Just like with Ramchandra, when he was telling Ramlila, he didn't talk so much about the fight between Ravana and Ramchandra. But he wanted the essential teachings. So the essential teachings, one thing that he spoke about a lot was the exchange between Nishingadev and Prahlad Maharaj after Nishingadev had killed Hiranyakashipu. And he was trying to corner Prahlad Maharaj into accepting a boon. I'm not going to talk about that. But the other thing that he spoke about a lot, and he emphasized a lot, was Prahlad Maharaj's instructions to his schoolmates, who were all children of demons, but not so contaminated. So why should we pay attention to these teachings? Could they be a little relevant to us? Demonic mentality actually is Ishvaroham aham bhogi. This is what demons think. I'm the controller and I'm the enjoyer. So if we're thinking like this, it doesn't mean we're demons, but that demonic mentality is there. And we need to become free from it. By Nishingadeva's grace. Bhakti Vignavanasana Shri Nishingadeva Ki. He removes the obstacles. So, I'm going to start in the middle of the story. So somehow or other, Sanda and Namarka, who are the sons of Shukracharya, a bogus brainwasher and so-called educator of the sons of demons, they left the class in charge of Prahlad Maharaj, while they went off for lunch or some other business, unstated. And Prahlad Maharaj took the opportunity to gather all his schoolmates together. And they were saying, come on, let's play Prahlad, let's play Prahlad. I'm sure there's a Gurukul song about that, right?
Yes.
Okay, that comes later.
Love one another.
But you don't want to hear it.
Chant
No, I
Hare
love
Krishna
to.
the whole day through.
Shall we sing it?
Yeah, go.
How can we all
love one another?
everyone's sister and everyone's brother? It's easy if you know just what to do. Chant Hare Krishna the whole day through. The names of the Lord are many but one. Jehovah and Allah and Rama are some. To chant Hare Krishna, it's His holy name. The Supreme Person of God is the same. To glorify God is a special thing. With everyone chanting and dancing His way. Black men and white men and old men and young. With everyone blissful and full of God's love.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And in the middle of singing, one of the kids on the tape says, I like it, let's quit school and do this every day.
We just did.
Yeah.
So Prahlad Maharaj, he became quite serious. He was sorry that these demons are going down the wrong side. The education was so abominable, political, and like that. So he gathered them together. Kamaramacharit pragyo. He said, so you take this, dharman bhagavataniha. When you're young, you take to this teaching. Don't wait until you're old. Durlabha janmana, manusya janma. Tad apyaduravam artada. This human body is very, very, very rare to achieve. Very rare. And it's temporary as well. Our bodies are fading away bit by bit. Every single one. Young ones, old ones. So grab the opportunity while you can. That's the lesson. Because it's very, very, very valuable. In this form of life only, we can come to God consciousness. So he's explaining, don't waste your time. Mostly, people may live for 100 years. And out of that, because they sleep so much, 50 years is wasted in sleep. And then, when you're kids, you can't do anything. So 10 years goes there. And then when you're youths, you're so busy being teenagers and all the other stuff that goes with that. That's another 10 years gone down the drain. And then, when you're old, you're too decrepit, suffering and ailing, you can't hold it together at all. So that's 90 out of 100 years gone. And then, the attached householder loses the opportunity completely. Becomes so attached to family, children, relatives, money. Prabhupada said he's so so busy saving every farthing. Put your hands up, who knows what a farthing is?
Something
Not
British.
everybody. Something British. It's a fourthing of an old penny, fourth of a penny.
A fourthing of an old penny. Okay.
Yeah. They're so
25 cents of a cent.
busy looking after every farthing of money that they don't see that this amazingly valuable opportunity is just slipping away, going. So all these attachments have become like silkworms. They're in spinning their own prison, actually. Grihastha ashram is essential. Basically, it's actually, I mean, financially, economically, and so on. It's the foundation of society. But Grihamedi, if we just take this opportunity to come together simply for sense pleasure, then it's a big problem. So Prahlad Maharaj was talking about that. So he said the only way you can get free from this attachment is by surrendering to Vishnu. Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. And how can you surrender to Vishnu? Only by the grace of enlightened teachers. That's a fact. It was the same in Prahlad's time, and it's the same now. This is an eternal fact. Eternal fact. Krishna is reality. The soul is reality. Our mentality is illusion. The only way we can break out of this illusion is when Guru reality stretches out to us and we actually take that hand. That's the only way. There is no other way. No, we're singing, take hold of lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. It's very powerful fact that we have to take shelter in this way. So he's saying that we have to worship Vishnu under the direction of saintly teachers like Narad. And the boy said, what? Narad? Saintly teachers? What's going on? Prahlad? You're stuck here in the palace. We're all stuck here in the palace. We don't see any saintly teachers. Narad? Who's this Narad? So then Prahlad Maharaj, he began a whole story, which I'm not going to tell right now, about how his mother was taken away by the demigods, and then Narada stepped in, and then she stayed with Narad. She was pregnant with Prahlad. She stayed with Narad for a long time, waiting for her husband to come back from his horrendous austerities, and it was a long time. So during that time, Narad Muni was preaching, and Prahlad Maharaj was completely receptive. So by the time he was born, he was pure devotee already. Oh, we didn't know that. So then Prahlad Maharaj, he started the second chapter of his teachings to his friends. He was saying, you have to understand the soul. He's talking about surrendering to Vishnu. What difference does that make? Because we have to know what is the soul. We have to know what is the difference between the soul and the body. He said, just like an expert geologist knows how to detect where there's gold ore, O-R-E, and how to get the gold out of the ore. So similarly, the expert devotee knows that within every single living body, there's a living entity, starting with us. And we have to know how to rescue that living entity, that's us, from the clutches of material entanglement and material attachment. We have to know that process and practice. So he was emphasizing again that it comes down to Guru Shushya Bhaktya, that we have to be with Guru. How are we going to deal with Guru? Sarva Labdharpanenacha, that offering everything that we have, labdha, all out, whatever we've gained, we offer at the lotus feet, just like we sang this bhajan, Srila Gurudev wrote. Offering everything at the lotus Shri Guru. And then under the direction of Guru, Sadhu Bhaktanam, in the association of pure devotees, Ishvarena Radhanen. that we worship the Supreme Lord in the association of pure devotees. Who's pure devotee? Gurudev is very, very strict. Pure devotee is somebody who's in Braj consciousness. There's not many of them around. Not visible anyway. My Guru Maharaj was very liberal. When right at the beginning of the movement, one of his devotees asked him, disciples asked him, so, Prabhupada, are there any other pure devotees? He said, how many devotees now in our movement? They said, about 250. He said, so then there's 250 pure devotees. So somehow or other, if we can come together, not for idle chitter-chatter, or for backbiting, or for doing each other over, but actually in the name of Gurudev Prabhupada, our acharyas, engage in bhakti, just like Gurudev is, I mean, our acharyas have given us this simple program, just like we're coming together, right? We're chanting the bhajans. Gurudev, Sudevi, Kishori, they were saying yesterday how important that is. Chant the bhajans, and we can have some reading, some discussion, give class. Like this. It's a very, very simple process. It's not difficult. It's a very simple process. So these are some of the teachings that Prahlad gave. Just some fun facts about Krishna, Nrsimhadev Bhagavan. When Lord Chaitanya first demonstrated his Bhagavata, the fact that he's actually the Lord, there was a threat of Muslims coming and capturing Srivas Thakur and doing whatever Muslim soldiers do with Hindus. And Srivas was very, very worried. So he was worshipping Nrsimhadev. And Lord Chaitanya, just at that moment, he decided, okay, now I'm going to show. And he ran to his house, wham, 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 on the door. Srivas, who are you worshipping? I'm the one you're worshipping. And Srivas is seeing this flaming image in his meditation. And he turned around and he saw Lord Chaitanya in a ferocious form, yoga virasana, forearms, club, discus, lotus flower, conch, like this. So, to protect the devotee, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he manifested that form to reassure Srivas Thakur.
And also to teach Chankazi.
Teach Chankazi. Oh, yeah. At night, he jumped on Chankazi's chest. You mess up my Sankirtan anymore, I'll rip you to shreds. There's so many stories of how Nrsimhadev protected devotees. There was one devotee called Yamaraj. He was in prison in... Yamaraj, pure devotee.
No, but in prison.
He was in prison in, I don't know, Uzbekistan or somewhere like that. It was during Soviet times. And he'd hear the jailer coming down each cell. He'd go into each cell, beat up the inmate, close the door, come down, do the next one. And he's coming right down. He thought, if he does it to me, I'm going to die. And the jailer came down. He beat up the person in the next cell, closed the door. Then he opened his cell door and he said, I'm too tired to beat you up, but I'll do it tomorrow morning. Close the door. And next morning came in really early. He said, please, pray to your God. Don't harm me, don't harm me, don't harm me. And the Sri would come in a dream and threatened him horribly. There's so many stories. Beautiful stories. Nrsimhadev, he's Vaikuntha deity. He's Krishna's disc, Sudarshan disc. So for me, it's kind of a special day because Srila Gurudev, when he gave my sannyas name, he said, you like Nemi? I wanted a short name. I couldn't see it on the list and it wasn't there. He said, actually the name is Gabhasta Nemi. But nobody called you Gabhasta Nemi, they all say Nemi. So I said, what does Gabhasta Nemi mean? He said, it means Lord Vishnu holds a disc with 1,000 spokes. Wow. And then Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, he explained that Nemi means the outside of the wheel. That's where Naimisharanya comes from. And that's what does the cutting. So I went to the woods today and I made some cutting videos. tearing up Richard Dawkins.
And you started with the cutting kata from Maharaj.
So actually, Lord Nrsimhadev generally, we see he is Vaikuntha deity. If you worship Lord Nrsimhadev, you won't get Braj praying. This is the general statement, right? General. But Nrsimhapali is different. Because Thakur Bhaktivinoda, in his Navadip Bhavataranga, he describes how he went to Lord Nrsimhadev and he's praying to Lord Nrsimhadev for mercy. And Lord Nrsimhadev put his lotus foot on his head and said, yes, you will have Radha Krishna praying. And it's right after that that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a vision of himself as Kama Manjari, and Ananga Manjari comes and takes him to Rup Manjari, and then they go to Lalita Sundari, like this. So Nrsimhadev is a very, very mysterious personality. Hare Krishna.
The prayers from Bhaktivinoda Thakur from Navadip Bhavataranga. There's just 4 if you want to read the translations. It's what to meditate to Nrsimhadev about.
Within my sinful heart.
Maybe you can tell them that. It's the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Lord Nrsimhadev. And from Navadip Bhavataranga.
The 6 enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunning. At the lotus seat of Lord Narasimha, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy? Even though Lord Narasimha is terrifying toward the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless? He will say, dear child, sit down freely, live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar. Saying this, will that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head? I will experience sublime love for the divine couple Radha Krishna and undergo the ecstatic transformations called sattvic. Falling on the ground, I will roll about at the door of Sri Narasimha's temple. So this is the mercy that we're after. Hare Krishna. Sri Narasimha ki jai. Sri Gurudev ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Goprim Nandi.
So somehow we hear that he's like Vaikuntha, but this is directly related to Gauranga and Radha Krishna.
Beautiful.
You're going to come back here and you'll write.
No, you're going to stay there.
Oh, okay.
The third and front of photo, can you move that to the
Compress this side.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurim Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Narasimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Bhakta Prakashi Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. I offer my Danda Pranam to all the Vaishnavis present, headed by Vijapad Bhaktivedanta.
What's the rest of it?
Nemi Maharaj, the edge of the chakra, Maharaj, and all of the senior Vaishnavas, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and also the disciples of our Gurudev, and all of the Vaishnavas present. I offer my Dandavat Pranam. Many years ago, we were in New Braj, Badger, with our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And he started his class with a very obvious mistake. Today is the appearance day of Prahlad Maharaj. And all the devotees looked at him and said, no, Gurudev, it's the appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. He's like, yes. So today is the appearance day of Prahlad Maharaj. And we were like, he said, If you see the entire pastime of Lord Narasimhadev in Srimad Bhagavatam, Narasimhadev Bhagavan comes at the very end, but actually it is all the glories of his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. So for us, today, we receive the opportunity to remember and glorify the devotion and the teachings of Bhakta Prahlad. Most of the time, we might not think about him, but on this day we do. So he's appearing for us on this day. And then Narasimhadev appears at the end. But really, the Lord appears for what reason? Mostly to glorify his devotees and also to show his beautiful pastimes, which are, incidentally, for the pleasure of his devotees. He doesn't need to manifest in this world. While he's in Yoga Nidra, in deep sleep, millions of universes are manifesting from his pores. And then, as he's breathing in, millions of universes are compressing, condensing, and entering back into his body. Does he need to manifest to kill a few measly demons? Really? No. Why does he manifest? He manifests for his own purpose, for his own pleasure, because that's his nature. He is Vishaya Bhagavan. And especially for the pleasure of his devotees, to please his devotees, because his nature is anugrahaya bhaktanam. He is very affectionately inclined toward his devotees. So he manifests so many beautiful pastimes, because his devotees love to do one thing. Matchata madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita what his devotees always do and what they want to do. They always want to remember his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, conversing with one another. And through that, because wherever the glories of the Lord are being sung or spoken, Srimad Narayan himself says, that is where I am present. So they are experiencing him through that katha, through that kirtan, and experiencing happiness, bliss, and pleasure at every moment, remembering him. And because he wants to reciprocate with their unlimited love and affection, he manifests in so many unlimited forms and manifests unlimited pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees, so that they will also have what they want, which is to lovingly glorify him and do kirtan of him. This pastime, the pastime of Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan, Lord Narasimhadev, is actually quite a lengthy pastime. Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj mentioned the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his friends. But this pastime starts way, way, way back. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, actually it starts with Yudhishthira Maharaj asking a very interesting question. Because in the royal hall in Dwarka, Yudhishthira Maharaj and so many others witnessed after the 101st offense of Shishupal, Krishna promised upon his birth that I will tolerate all of his offenses. But if he does more than 100 in a row, then I will finish him. So they saw that Krishna's chakra took off the head of Shishupal, and the soul of Shishupal entered into the air and went into Krishna's foot. And they all know that Krishna is God. And so Yudhishthira Maharaj was very, very interested. How is this possible? He's a demon. And yet, he attained perfection. He attained his meeting with Bhagavan. So, how is it possible that Bhagavan, it seems that Bhagavan is actually partial to his devotees, but it is always said that he is impartial. So how do we understand this? And Yudhishthira Maharaj was very, very concerned, because it seems that the Lord is always partial to his devotees, but we hear in Shastra, in the scripture, that actually he's equal to everyone. So then Sri Narada Muni began to recite this history. It's interesting because Maharaj was telling about how Prahlad was telling the boys how he learned everything he learned from his guru Narada Muni. But who's actually narrating this story is Narada Muni. He's telling about his disciple Prahlad telling about him. This is quite interesting. So Sri Narada Muni explained, and I'm going to tell it in very simple words from our Srila Gurudev, that yes, it is true that the Lord is always impartial. Srila Gurudev explained to general persons, but he is partial to his devotees. But also from the perspective, what is told in Bhagavatam, there it is said that he naturally reacts to how someone approaches him. So if this is one's intrinsic nature, then it cannot be said that he is partial to the devotees or the demons. Because they're approaching him with love and affection, he's automatically reciprocating with love and affection. And those who are approaching him with enmity, hatred, or with the desire to fight, then he approaches them in that way. So this is considered impartial, because he's only reciprocating according to that nature. And this is how Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, as one approaches me, I will reciprocate accordingly. So can he be faulted with partiality? No. And yet, from the perspective of the devotee, it may seem that, oh, he is certainly very, very partial to the devotees, because he's always siding with the devotees and the demigods against the demons. So it seems that there's partiality, but the devotees are always approaching him with affection, with love, and with a mood of service. And the demons are approaching him in a different way, so he's reciprocating accordingly. So, once upon a time, a long time ago, the Lord appeared in the form of Varahadev, the boar incarnation, because there was great catastrophe in this world. A very great demon named Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha. His eyes were always greedy for gold. Aksha means eyes and Hiranya means gold. He was always searching for gold. Who is Hiranyaksha? He is the twin of someone else, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu does not mean gold and soft bed. That's the general understanding. Srila Prabhupada in his books explained that Kashipu means pleasures of the flesh, not soft bed. But for children's story tapes, maybe it was turned to soft bed. So he was fond of gold and the pleasures of the flesh. So Hiranyaksha, although technically, from our perspective, older, is actually younger. Because, according to Shastra, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains that the twin that enters the womb first naturally comes out last. So the one who is born first is considered younger, not older. Who was born first, Mambati?
Lavanga.
Ah, so she's older.
I'm older.
She's like, yes, okay.
Gurudev told us that.
Therefore, Hiranyaksha was the servant of his brother Hiranyakashipu. And he was going everywhere, conquering the universe, claiming everything, and creating such havoc that Varahadev himself manifested and killed Hiranyaksha. Then Hiranyakashipu became quite angry, upset. How dare Vishnu, in the form of Varahadev, kill my brother? And so he decided he wanted to kill Vishnu. So many histories. Why is it that he has this nature? So going way, way back before then, once upon a time, the Lord, Sriman Narayan himself, had a desire. Can he have a desire? Why not? And his desire was to fight. If the Lord desires something, immediately his devotees want to fulfill that desire. So within the heart of the Lord, there was a desire to fight. Immediately within the heart of two of his gate guards, Jai and Vijay, they desired to fulfill his desire. The Lord will not have any pleasure fighting with anyone who is not his equal. Who can defeat the Lord? Only someone who has love for him. Anyone who doesn't have love for him, they have no standing whatsoever. So he wanted a good fight. If you want a good fight, then you need to have an equal to fight with. It would have been boring for him otherwise. So immediately, Yoga Maya arranged something amazing. The four Kumaras, they went to the gates of Vaikuntha. And immediately they were stopped by Jai and Vijay. Hey, naked boys, you're not qualified to enter into Vaikuntha. You need to mature a little bit more. Maybe a few thousand years more austerities and put some clothes on, don't you see? we're all dressed properly here. How can you go like this in front of Srimad Narayan? And they began abusing them in many ways, meaning abusive language. And these 4 Kumaras thought, how is it possible that this kind of mindset has entered into Vaikuntha? No one has this kind of mood. Vaikuntha means the land without any difficulty or this kind of mundane duality. They must be imposters. So immediately the 4 Kumaras cursed Jai and Vijay. You have the mindset of demons. How is it possible that you're even here? You don't belong here. We curse you to go be where you're supposed to be, in the material world, as demons, for 3 births. Jai and Vijay were like, what? What happened here? We were doing our job at the gates of Vaikuntha, and these 4 boys just cursed us, and now what are we going to do? And there was some confusion happening. Srimad Narayan comes, smiling ever so sweetly, walking with his entourage, a beautiful white parasol, bedecked with pearls, being fanned with chamaras on both sides, so many sages chanting hymns, walking very sweetly, twirling a lotus flower, smiling very gently. And he comes to the gates. And they're all looking at him like, what just happened? Because the 4 Kumaras are completely controlled, and so are Jai and Vijay completely controlled, but suddenly they're acting different than their own nature. These 4 Kumaras cursed the guards of Srimad Narayan. Very strange happenings. Srimad Narayan said, actually all of this happened by my desire, my own will. But he told the 4 Kumaras something very amazing, and this is a very important lesson for us. He said, because they are my servants, whatever offense they have committed, you should understand that I am personally taking responsibility, because they are my servants. He said, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm or even my own head if this will be recompense for the offense they have committed. So a lot of times people think, it doesn't matter what I do. It has no bearing on Gurudev or Krishna or anything. But we shouldn't think like that. We are the servant. And Guru and Krishna, having accepted us as their servants, will also see, yes, I will take responsibility. So we should behave in such a way, I read this quote from Srila Prabhupada, that no criticism or no bad a name will come to your master. Srimad Narayan said that even a little bit, you could say like what do they call this vitiligo? They called it white leprosy in Bhagavatam. It's referred to that. You should understand that if there's even a little white patch, that it's actually through the entire system. It's in your whole blood system. So he said that we should understand, this is what Srimad Narayan said at that time, we should understand that that poison is everywhere. So he took personal responsibility. But he told them that actually all of this is happening by my desire because I desired to fight. Sometimes we have heard that he gave the choice to the 2 guards, Jai and Vijay, that, well, if you want, you can take birth 7 times as my devotee. Srila Gurudev explained in no uncertain terms, I hope I said that right, that they would have happily accepted that if they didn't know that he wanted to fight. But because their nature is to serve the Lord and his desire was to fight, then they happily accepted the role of being demons. Srila Gurudev explained, and Yudhishthira Maharaj also asked this question, I cannot believe that anyone can fall down from the spiritual world. This is impossible. And in that purport, Srila Prabhupada said, actually it is a fact that no one can fall from Vaikuntha. This is the will of the Lord via the power of Yoga Maya that they manifested in this world, but not from the power of Yoga, of Mahamaya. So by the desire of the Lord, these 2, Jai and Vijay, became not just any demon. The most amazingly powerful, dashing, handsome, strongly built, chiseled demons that were like 20, 30 feet tall. So beautiful and so powerful that even the thunderbolt of Indra could not penetrate their skin. How powerful and how beautiful. If you read the explanation in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's jaw-droppingly gorgeous. How amazing these 2 were. Because they're no ordinary personalities. If the Lord's going to create a demon who's qualified to fight with him, he's going to make them a good one. So Jai and Vijay, Gurudev explained that the originals never left Vaikuntha. But they manifested forms in this world as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan and Kumbhakarna, and Shishupal and Dantavakra. They manifested forms, but the originals remained there. In the same way, sometimes we hear that Radha and Krishna, they have come from Uppercut Vrindavan to here. Did they actually leave there? Are there no pastimes going on in Uppercut Vrindavan? Are they gone? When Gurudev is walking among us, is Gurudev's Manjari form not serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan? Simultaneously? Of course. So these two maintain their eternal forms serving Srimad Narayan in Vaikuntha, but their manifestations came in the form of these amazingly powerful demons. And there's a lot of history that I'm going to skip because it explains why or how demons are born. But when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu manifested in this world, there were so many very, very bad omens. Things we don't see very often, like pus, blood, mucus, urine, and stool falling from the sky. Jackals were howling, and ladies were having miscarriages. It was pretty bad stuff. And everyone knew, oh, meteors also shooting across the sky. This is considered also inauspicious. So this was a forebearing that there will be great, great problems in this world. In fact, it was their father who cursed that they will be the kings of demons. For some reason. So, Hiranyaksha was killed, Hiranyakashipu. First, he preached Bhagavatam so beautifully. Actually, everything that he had preached was placed in Srimad Bhagavatam under the title Shri Hiranyakashipur Uvacha, the best Jiva Tattva you have ever heard. He's so good. Okay? So he tells the family of his brother Hiranyaksha, all of them are grieving and weeping. He tells them, Jiva Tattva, don't cry. The body is temporary, but the soul is eternal. You shouldn't weep for what is gone. Everyone who has taken birth must die, but the soul will continue. But then after that, he became obsessed with killing Vishnu. So he decided, I want to destroy everything that is related to Vishnu. And then I can easily kill Vishnu. So he started waging war everywhere. And as the demons do, and you might even find it reminiscent of some of the activities that happen to this day, they were destroying temples, they were destroying deities, destroying cows, destroying farms, destroying brahmanas, destroying Vaishnavas, destroying anything related to Vedic culture. This is the nature of demons. Trees also. Farms, trees, everything. Anything that's usable for life, livelihood, or anything. And all the good persons had to run and hide in caves or hide in any forest that they could find to escape the atrocities of demons. But the demigods began to fight back. So Hiranyakashipu decided, I want to do very, very intense, powerful austerities. So he went to one place. What's the name of that place? Mandara Mountain. And began to do austerities. For 100,000 years. Standing on the tips of his toes, with his hands up in the air. To gain power. More power. So he was standing and doing such austerity that he was able to keep his prana, his life force, within his bones. We can't do that anymore, but at that time they were able to do so. And an anthill came over his whole body. So he was doing such intense austerities that it is said that fire was coming from his head and the universe started to choke. Even the demigods were feeling the heat of that fire. In the meantime, the demigods had taken the opportunity to completely defeat the demons. They wanted to kill someone in the womb of his mother. That was baby Prahlad. They kidnapped his mother and they were waiting for that child to be born so they could kill it. Because they knew if the father is such a demon, he will be even a more dangerous demon. But at that time, as they were kidnapping her for that purpose, Narada Muni stopped them. What are you doing with this chaste lady? They said, oh, he's a great demon. Certainly a great demon. Narada Muni said, no, he's a great devotee of the Lord. So at that time, all of the devas, the demigods, circumambulated her, offered pranam, and left. And then Narada Muni kept her in his ashram for a very long time. And as Maharaj said, he was giving Harikatha for thousands and thousands of years as Hiranyakashipu was doing these intense austerities because she had no protection at that time. The kingdom had been ransacked. The demigods had won, so they had taken Narada Muni took her to a safe place and was giving Harikatha. And Prahlad in the womb was like a sponge for Harikatha. He was just absorbing everything. Srila Prabhupada explained, though, that his mother, Kayadu or Kasyadu, was so absorbed, worried about her husband and the kingdom and what will happen afterward and her unborn child and so many other things that she wasn't able to be one-pointed to receive that Harikatha. And because of this, because of her multi-pointedness, she was not able to receive that same benefit of Harikatha. So when our Gurudev would start giving Harikatha, he would say, leave everything to the side and give me all of your senses, one-pointed. And then he would start giving Harikatha. He didn't want us to be making garlands or drawing or doing anything else. Back in the day, if anyone was even taking notes from his Harikatha, he would wait until they stopped taking notes, and then he would continue speaking when they looked back at him. Because he said most of it is coming through the glance of Guru.
Wow.
So, this baby in the womb of Kasyadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, was receiving all of this Harikatha from Sri Narada Muni. After so long, the demigods began to beg, please, O Brahmaji, we need help. We are burning because of his austerities. Please, give him what he wants. At least stop this. So Brahma went on his airplane. Does anyone know what his airplane is? Swan airplane. And he was searching, where is Hiranyakashipu? He could see effulgence manifesting from this hill. Very brilliant effulgence. And he sprinkled some holy water there. And immediately, this amazingly powerful, strong, very, very beautiful form, Hiranyakashipu, manifested. And Brahma said, I am very pleased with your prayers. Immediately, Hiranyakashipu offered his Dandavat Pranam. O Supreme Personality of Godhead. He referred to Brahma as Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what demons do to gain favor. They just glorify you. Be careful for those who over-glorify, by the way. I had someone in Vrindavan. I asked him to help fix something in the bedroom. And for one moment, I turned my eyes, and he had been, oh, Prabhu, you are so great. You are so wonderful. You're so amazing. Oh, you're the best. You're the best ever. I've told my friends you're the best ever. And I was thinking, why is this guy glorifying me like this? And somehow he stole all of Thakurji's stash of funds. And yeah, it never came back. So be careful for the over-glorifiers. So it's hard to prove it, yes. Yes, too much bhakti?
The sign of a thief.
Too much bhakti is the sign of a thief. So Hiranyakashipu was praying to Lord Brahma, you are the greatest, you are the source of everything, you are the source of all of us, you are the Supreme Personality of God, and please be merciful to me, I am but your humble servant. Brahma was melted. Yes, what would you like? Hiranyakashipu said, oh, I would like to be immortal. Brahma said, what can I do? I only live 100 of my years. I mean, for us it's 311 trillion years, but for Brahma it's only 100 of his years. I can't give you immortality because I myself do not possess it. Hiranyakashipu was very smart. He said, okay, then grant me this. I cannot be killed in the land, or the sea, or the sky. Brahma said, okay. I cannot be killed by any weapon. Okay. I cannot be killed in the day or the night. Sure. I cannot be killed by any of your creations. Brahma is creating everything and everyone in this universe. He said, okay. What else?
Inside or outside.
I cannot be killed inside or outside or in any month or on any day.
Any year.
Any year? Day or night, yes. So all of these conditions. And Brahma said, okay. And Hiranyakashipu thought, I've got all the bases covered. Now I'm immortal.
Death, close your portal.
I am free. I, Hiranyakashipu, am free.
And now everyone
worship
Me.
We heard these stories from the, Golden Avatar Productions every day as children. We weren't introduced to all of these other characters, which are now freely available. But we had all of the Christian stories. Narasimha was one of them, main one. So, Hiranyakashipu had this kind of mentality. Nothing and no one can kill me, and I am so powerful. I can never be killed. So what can anyone do? So immediately, Hiranyakashipu went into autocratic mode and began to destroy everything. He collected all of his demons together and created holy terror throughout the universe. Again, destroying everything. And he had all of the demigods running and hiding because they knew they couldn't kill him. He was so powerful. Eventually, he even took over the throne of Indra. And one of the benedictions he received from Lord Brahma is that he would not be under any of the demigods, but he would be able to control all of the energies that they themselves controlled. So he took all of their power unto himself, and he himself would control the wind and fire and heat and light and all of these things. Almost time itself. How powerful of a demon he was. Okay. He's exciting. Okay. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that actually Narada Muni himself said that he was so powerful that he imprisoned so many of the greatest sages and brahmanas and even all of the demigods. And because the demigods had always been fighting against him, he was especially harsh toward them. But he also, Narada Muni said that he had us chanting prayers to him. Narada Muni was in a situation where him and other rishis were chanting prayers to Hiranyakashipu. How great of a demon was this Hiranyakashipu? But demons have a soft spot. Their own family, especially their own children. So he had this beautiful son named Prahlad. Pra means who gives, and Hlad means joy, happiness, bliss, pleasure. So Prahlad, his nature is to give joy, happiness, bliss, and pleasure to the Supreme Lord because he was already a pure devotee. So when this Prahlad was only 5 years old, he had entered into school, Gurukul, the school of Shanda and Amarka, the sons of Shukracharya. And the first time he came back from the Gurukul, Hiranyakashipu was overwhelmed with joy. My dear son, he took him and placed him on his lap, began weeping tears of love and affection, caressing him and kissing his head, smelling his head with love and affection. Tell me what it is, the best thing that you have learned in school, as any father would. Prahlad, little Prahlad, 5 years old, he said, Tat sadhu manye asura varya dehinam. Hiranyakashipu heard asura varya dehinam, oh, best of the asuras, and he became very proud. Yes, my son has learned so much. And he said, those who are simply attached to household life, trying to enjoy in this material world, they are in an endless pit of despair. Rather, you should give that up and you should go into the forest and you should surrender unto Hari, always remembering the Lord and serving the Lord. Take shelter and surrender unto Sri Hari. Hiranyakashipu looked at his little son. This is a little strange. How is it possible that my son could have this kind of mood? This kind of preaching mood. But he thought it was cute because he was just little and he had never heard anything like this. Like maybe someone got into our kingdom and is like preaching some Vishnu stuff. You know, he was a little concerned. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains what is Griham Anda Kupam. Now there are two kinds of Griha. There is the Vaishnava Grihasta, who is married and who is serving the Lord together under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas, and together working toward eventually becoming fully detached and giving oneself fully in the shelter in the service of the Lord. And there's another kind of Griha, it is called Griha Medhi, and that is 99.9% of all of the people of this world, including most who are in the forms of devotees externally, who want to enjoy this material world, who want to enjoy their home, their wives, their husbands, their families, their children, and all of these things. Shastra says, Prahlad Maharaj says, and all of our Guru Varga says, that this nature is the demonic nature, that I want to be the enjoyer, that I am perfect, powerful, happy, etc. So, Prahlad told this to his father, that, oh, you're simply absorbed in this griham andakupam, and the deep, dark well of material life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a very, very beautiful example. He said once there was a man, he was being chased by a tiger. Being chased by this tiger, he was looking everywhere for shelter. Where can I go? Where can I go? And he found a blind well. It means it's a well that's kind of covered over by grass, an old well. And he saw that there were some branches dangling into this well. He took shelter of these branches and began to climb into the well to get away from this tiger who wanted to eat him. As he was climbing down the branches, he noticed there were so many very poisonous snakes at the bottom of the well. Their heads up and hissing. And he was thinking, uh-oh. And so he couldn't go down, he couldn't go up because there was a tiger there. And he was holding on to these branches. He noticed something, that on one branch, one black rat started chewing, and on another branch, a white rat started chewing. And he was thinking, oh God, my time will be up very soon. What am I going to do? Just then, as he was adjusting himself, he noticed something dripping in front of him. He looked up and he saw, oh, it's a beehive. And so he positioned himself to the right position where he could catch that honey on his tongue that was dripping. So when that honey hit his tongue, he thought, oh, this is nectar. He forgot everything around him. Life is good. I've got honey dripping here. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that this is our nature in this material world. I'm going to quote Govinda Das Kaviraj. Sita ata pabata barishana edina jamini jagire vipale sevinu kripana durjana chapala sukha lavalagire. For a moment of flickering pleasure, we will endure all kinds of difficulties. And in the end, our life is so fragile. In one moment, it will go. But he was enjoying this very sweet honey. What is that honey? It is the honey of the affection of one's wife or husband or the children or anything. Some little bit comes there and you're, this is so sweet. Of course, there might be so many other difficulties, but this man was there trying to catch that honey. What does this tiger represent? Death. The snakes at the bottom, Srila Gurudev said, represent all kinds of problems. So many problems come. And he said, the moment you solve one, another 10 come in its place. And you solve that problem, and so many more problems come. And he said, problem, 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 problem. After another, so many problems will come. What do these branches represent? They represent good and bad karma. A lot of times people think, oh, no, I'm doing good karma. I'm getting good karma. But this will not remove us from the repetition of birth and death in this material world. Good and bad karma are two sides of the same coin. That's why in the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Rai Ramananda, there it is said, Krishna bhakti rasabhavitamati kriyatam jadikutoki labhyate tatra loyam apimulyam ekalam janma koti shukritar na labhyate. Millions of lifetimes of good sukriti from good karma will not give any qualification for attainment of bhakti. So these rats, the white rat and the black rat, they represent day and night. Srila Gurudev explained, you cannot say when you will die. You think, oh, give me one more minute. He said, but when it comes immediately when it is meant to. And we cannot get 1 second back. So this man is in such a situation that death is all around him, and difficulties are all around him, and yet he's trying to extract one little bit of pleasure. So Prahlad told Hiranyakashipu that, why are you wasting your time? It's guaranteed to be destroyed. Instead, you should leave everything, go to the forest, especially Vrindavan, and surrender unto Sri Hari. Hiranyakashipu thought, wow, my child is a little bit contaminated. And he looked at Chanda and Amarka, and they're like, not us. He's like, take care of him. So they brought him back to Gurukul. After some time, they assured Hiranyakashipu, we will train him properly. So they trained him as best they could for quite some time, and then he went back to Hiranyakashipu, who again received his son in a similar way to the first time. Oh, my dear son, what is the best thing you have learned in school? Little Prahlad, he said, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pad Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pungsarpita Vishnu Bhakti. He was telling the 9 processes of devotional service. Hearing, what's the song? Oh, you're not going to sing the song. Hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. Archanam, Vandanam, offering prayers. Dasyam, becoming the servant. Sakyam, friend. Atmani Vedanam, and completely surrendering your own self, your independence at the feet of the Lord. These 9 processes are the processes of bhakti. Hiranyakashipu became very, very fiercely angry. What is this? What is this? He was so upset. And he asked Prahlad, why are you telling these things? And Prahlad told him, if I tell you, you can't understand. Me? I can't understand? I'm the most powerful and intelligent person in the entire universe, and I can't understand? And he said, Prahlad said, Matir na Krishne paratasvatova. Those who are not absorbed in thinking of Krishna, they cannot understand topics of Krishna consciousness because they're simply absorbed in chewing that thing which has already been chewed before.
Do you remember what Guru did? The story of the dog and chewing the bone?
Oh, and then other dogs come.
Yeah.
And
You
then
want to tell it?
No, I don't remember.
So Srila Gurudev would always give the example. What's so important about this? We want to hear about Nrsingadev, but actually the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj is the important part of this day. And our Gurudev and our Guru Varga gave very strong emphasis on this point. In fact, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, for an entire month of Kartik, only spoke about the glories and teachings of Prahlad Maharaj while doing parikrama of Vrindavan, Prahlad Charitra. So, punak punascharvita charvananam. What does that mean? That person who's only absorbed in chewing that which has been chewed before. I remember seeing one little boy picking old bubblegum off of the sidewalk to chew it. And I thought, wow, what a good analogy for this verse. But our Guru Varga have told us, Gurudev said, there was once a dog, and he found a very tasty bone. It was dry, it had nothing on it, but some remnant of flavor was there. And he was very happily chewing on this bone. But what happened? So many other dogs came and they wanted that bone. So they began chasing him. As they were chasing him, they were biting at him. And he was feeling so much pain and he began to scream for help and for mercy. And he was running and he dropped that bone and the next dog picked it up and he began trying to relish it and then all the dogs attacked him. So this is the same thing. We are being told by our family and our friends and everyone, if you just do this, if you just become rich, if you just get a house, if you just follow the status quo of the material world, this will make you happy. But Gurudev challenged. He said, you ask any of them, are you happy? He's like, no. He said, they're not happy. So they're lying. They're cheating you. They're not telling you the truth. So this example of these dogs running after one after another, this is chewing the chewed. And then Prahlad Maharaj said, the only way you can understand spiritual subject matter, transcendental subject matter, nasham atistavad urukramangri, pinam mahat padarajobhishekam. He said, only by rolling, smearing your body in the dust of the feet of the pure devotees, can you be able to understand transcendental subject matter. Otherwise, it is not possible. Only in this way can one understand. This point right here by Prahlad Maharaj is one of the main pivotal points of the preaching of all of our Guru Varga. That really our whole process is based on association with pure devotees, taking shelter of their lotus feet. And as our Gurudev told in Paderborn, Germany, if you have lost all interest or you have no interest in bhakti, there are 3 substances which are so powerful that they can reverse that. I was asleep when he said it, but I woke up because I thought, okay, this is for me. He said, Bhakta Padadhuli Ar Bhakta Padajal Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh Etin Mahabal. The dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, the water that has washed their feet, and the remnants of their foodstuff. These 3 substances are so powerful. Mahaprabhu says Mahabal, supremely powerful, that they can reverse our causeless unwillingness and actually turn us toward bhakti. They can awaken our interest in bhakti. So Prahlad said, unless one smears themselves in the dust of the feet of the pure devotees, they will not be able to understand transcendental subject matter. So for us, if we want to understand transcendental subject matter, we are dependent upon this miraculous transcendental substance. Thank God our Guru Varga have given us the opportunity to take shelter of it every single day in the form of Gopi Chandan. Tilak, everywhere. We're taking the dust of the feet of the pure devotees of the gopis upon our head and our bodies. And with that, we are praying for mercy. So then Hiranyakashipu became so upset. How dare you, impudent little fool! He started cursing at his son Prahlad. How dare you, impudent little foolish person, dare to instruct me? How dare you? He said, you are not behaving like a son. You are behaving like someone who wants to die. He said, if there's a head of an axe, it can't do much damage. But you're like the handle of that axe. And by you, the sandalwood forest of our society, our empire. He was comparing himself and all the other demons to a forest of sandalwood trees. By you're like a thorn tree who was born in the midst of all of these sandalwood trees. By your presence, thorn tree is very good for making the handle of an axe. You will be responsible for destroying our entire dynasty. Hiranyakashipu was telling him. So immediately he told his servants, the demons, you should kill this child. So what did they do? They followed the instructions of Hiranyakashipu. He had thrown him from his lap at that time. They took him and they tried in thousands of ways to kill this young boy Prahlad. Prahlad never said, no, don't. They took him first and they were trying to chop him up. Chindi bindi means chop him and pierce him. With their swords and tridents and spears and everything. But no matter what they were doing, no effect was there. Prahlad was simply absorbed in chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He wasn't telling them to stop. He wasn't saying, oh, you're hurting me, don't kill me or anything. He was accepting whatever is coming to him, but only remembering the Lord. And the Lord was maintaining him. They tried in so many different ways. They tried to kill him by throwing him under the feet of a fierce wild elephant. Srila Gurudev explained that elephant, not only did he not stomp on him, but he picked him up, put him on his shoulders, and then went like a triumphant parade through the city. They're like, what's going on? They tried to kill him by throwing boulders on him, by throwing him off a cliff, by having him endure a very fierce hurricane on some island. I don't know, maybe it was Fiji. I'm not sure. By throwing him in a pit of snakes, by throwing him in boiling hot oil. Yes. In so many different ways. Whatever, I think they told about 20 in Bhagavatam, but you can imagine there were thousands of more versions. Also, Hiranyakashipu had a sister. Her name was Holika, where the name Holy comes from. And she had a special benediction that she could not be burned. So Hiranyakashipu instructed her, you take Prahlad on your lap in the name of Auntie, and we will start fire, and you will be okay, and Prahlad will be burnt. He was really trying to kill his son in every possible way. So they made a big funeral pyre. She sat on top of it. Oh, come here, Beta, come here, sit here with your auntie. And he came and he sat on her lap. Yes, auntie. He was really sweet and so innocent. And then they started the fire. And he's simply remembering Krishna. Because she went against the pure devotee of Krishna, her benediction backfired. Literally. She burnt completely to ashes. And when all of those everyone saw, oh, the big boy Prahlad is safe, but she was burnt to ashes. They became so happy that Prahlad was safe that they took those ashes and began throwing them in happiness that Prahlad was safe. The beginning of Holi. This is Holika. Hiranyakashipu was getting a little bit desperate. He was thinking, I've tried to kill him in so many ways. I know. Oh, my dear son Prahlad, you should come and have a nice meal with your father. He tried being nice. Chocolate cake, cookies. But he instructed his servants to put enough poison in the food of Prahlad to kill at least 10,000 full-grown men. So Prahlad was thinking, okay, my father is offering this to me. But Prahlad, his nature was, it's not like he sat there and began to offer the food directly to Krishna, but because he himself is completely surrendered to the Lord, then everything that he comes in contact with, this food or anything, is purified. It became prasad. So he took it and nothing happened to him. Hiranyakashipu was thinking, what is this? There's nothing I can do. And he became quite depressed. I can't kill my little 5-year-old son? What kind of superhuman power is this? He's going to be the ruin of my entire dynasty, and there's nothing I can do. I'm the most powerful person in the universe, and I can't affect my own little boy? So he actually became quite dejected and depressed. At that time, the Gurukul teacher, Shanda and Amarka, they came and said, he's still young. He doesn't know better. You know, he's young, but we can undo the teachings that he has heard before. Hiranyakashipu was also looking at them and accusing them. What have you done? They said, it is not proper to falsely accuse a Brahmana, they told him. We have not done anything. We've done our best. It must be that someone has infiltrated and contaminated him. But we will make him right. We will teach him all of the good qualities of the demon. What is that? How to be very good at making money. How to be very good at enjoying sense gratification. How to be very good at all kinds of mundane pursuits, lying, cheating, stealing, and diplomacy, politics, and everything else. It's kind of like how school is these days. That's why our Srila Prabhupada referred to public schooling as slaughterhouses. Because they are actually engaged in slaughtering our soul's potential for moving forward on the path of bhakti by impressing upon us that material life is the be-all, end-all of our existence. So, Chanda and Amarka took Prahlad from Hiranyakashipu. And Prahlad went back to school and he was learning very, very well. He was such a good student, learning perfectly, that Chanda and Amarka thought, we can fully trust him now. They had to go out for something, so they asked Prahlad, you be the monitor, the school monitor, look after the younger ones, because his character was impeccable. So at that time, when the teachers left, the boys told Prahlad, come on, let's go play. He said, I'm not interested. They said, what? He said, no. Why should I waste my time playing? They said, we're kids. That's what we do. Let's go play. Let's go play football. And he's like, no. And then they began to ask some questions, and he began to preach to them what Maharaj told previously. Kumaram acharit pragyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabam manusham janmat trapya dhruva mattadam. From the very beginning of your life, from the tender age of 5, Srila Prabhupada writes, you should use all of your energy, all of your intelligence in endeavoring for perfection. Don't waste your time. And the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his friends in school are basically the enhanced commentary of the verse in Bhagavatam, Labdva sudurlabam idam bahusambhavante. Only from the human form can you endeavor for perfection. So until you no longer are able to maintain your body, you should utilize every moment in that endeavor. Don't waste your time in all kinds of material, mundane pursuits. And he actually convinced his friends, who became very devotionally inclined, and they began chanting the names of the Lord. Prahlad began a very loud and beautiful kirtan with all of his friends. Gurudev said that he was telling them, oh, you should chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I said, oh, that's too difficult for us to learn such a long mantra. He said, okay, very simple. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So they were doing a kirtan of Hari Bol, because it was easy. That's when the teachers caught him. They caught him, and they brought him in front of Hiranyakashipu. And he was thinking, you are teaching this? See, before Hiranyakashipu was kind of a little bit, he was trying to have him killed, but now this was mutinous, because not only was Prahlad himself practicing, but now he's getting others to practice, which is against Hiranyakashipu. Demons can't handle that. No one can handle that. When a bunch of people go against them. So at that time, Hiranyakashipu began to tremble like a snake with anger. He was so furious. How dare this boy start turning my own citizens against me? How dare he? So Hiranyakashipu decided that I myself will destroy this boy. He said, where do you get your superhuman power from? He said, from the same place you do, Father. From God, from Vishnu. He said, God? What is this God? Where is your God, Prahlad? And Prahlad, he sees his Ishtadev everywhere because he's fully devoted to the Lord. He said he's everywhere, in everything. Inside everything, outside of everything, here, everywhere. In my heart, in your heart. He is the source of the power of everyone, the power of the demigods, and even the power that you have received from Brahma. He's the source of everything. And he said, where is your God? Show me. I want to see him personally. I am going to personally sever your head from your body. And with his lips quivering with anger, he took his sword and he was reaching it like this to cut off Prahlad's head, but he punched the base of a pillar in that palace. He said, is he in this pillar? Yes, Father. Then I will kill him. He punched that with his fist. And from that pillar came a very loud, very dangerous, roaring sound. Everyone all together. Hiranyakashipu was looking left and right, up and down. What is that noise? Where is it coming from? What is that thing? He was searching everywhere. And then from that pillar, manifested, burst out of that pillar, most amazing, far out form. Bhagavatam says, Hiranyakashipu was looking at it. What is that? Never seen anything like that before. Half man, half lion. Doesn't look like any creation of Brahma. But anyhow, I'm the most powerful man in the universe. No one can kill me. So whatever it is, I'm going to kill it. So Hiranyakashipu grabbed his shield and his sword and jumped at that amazing being. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that he had the face of a lion and the form like a human, but with thousands of arms, carrying so many weapons and very sharp nails. His hair and his body was white like the full moon, not yellow, not golden, brilliant white. And he was so tall that his hair was scattering the clouds. As he would shake his head and roar, the airplanes of the demigods were being scattered into the heavenly planets and beyond. And as he was roaring, even elephants in distant lands were feeling afraid and were crying out. The roar of Shri Narasimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. So Hiranyakashipu, interestingly, wasn't afraid because he didn't have anything to fear. But he thought, I'm going to kill it. So he charged into this. But that form of Sri Narasimhadev was so brilliant and so effulgent that as Hiranyakashipu dove into that form, he became lost in the effulgence of Narasimhadev Bhagavan. Bhagavatam says, like a moth enters into a fire and you don't see it anymore. So he got lost in that effulgence and he was swinging his sword this way and that way, but it was so bright he couldn't see what he was doing. At that time it is said that Narasimhadev Bhagavan grabbed him like Garuda picks up a snake. And Hiranyakashipu was squirming this way and that way. But then, as an eagle would do, he dropped him. And then the demigods began thinking, uh-oh, what's going on here? This is very dangerous time. But then again, they began to pray to the Lord, please don't play like this. Demons get more and more powerful in the nighttime, and it was just before nighttime. So please, dispatch of him. So again, a very great battle ensued between them actually. Hiranyakashipu was trying to strike him, and Nrsimhadev was also striking him back, and they fought for quite a long time. Until the opportune time. But then the demigods prayed, please, finish this. So then, Narasimhadev Bhagavan again grabbed him, like an eagle grabs a snake. And he was squirming everywhere, screaming, trying to wriggle his way out of it. But he couldn't. And then, Narasimhadev Bhagavan took him to a place which was not inside or outside. Placed this Hiranyakashipu on his lap, who was still squirming and screaming. And then with his beautiful, sharp nails, he was the manifestation of the anger of the Lord in protection of his pure devotee. With his sharp nails, he pierced the abdomen of this Hiranyakashipu. Shri Narasimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. See the shirt? Please stand up, Sham Prabhu. Give us some darshan there. Jai! And he ripped Hiranyakashipu apart. And as he was ripping him, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev and Bhagavatam explains that like a lion is attacking its prey, so the intestines of this Hiranyakashipu garlanded the neck of Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan. And then something I wish we would have heard a lot more of when I was little. They never told us this part. Because Hiranyakashipu had been so heartless and tried in so many ways to have his beautiful devotee son killed, Sri Narasimha Bhagavan uprooted the heart of Hiranyakashipu and then threw his body to the side. At that time, of course, Prahlad knew immediately, this is the Supreme Lord. Bhagavan, my Supreme Lord. And he began offering beautiful prayers to the Lord. But so many had seen Hiranyakashipu destroyed. All of his loyal followers came chasing after Narasimha Bhagavan with the desire to kill him, with so many weapons. But he had thousands of arms. I love that painting. And basically, with his sharp nails, began... And he dispatched all of the armies of Hiranyakashipu. So the important point I want to tell, Nrsimha Bhagavan, he is not a creation of Brahma. When he killed Hiranyakashipu, it wasn't in the day or the night, it was in twilight, which is the sandhya in between. It wasn't on the land or in the sky or in the water, it was on the lap of the Supreme Lord. It wasn't with any weapon, but was with his very beautiful sharp nails. It wasn't in any year, any month, or any day. It was a leap year, a leap month, and a leap day, which you have on the lunar calendar. Leap year, leap month is Purushottam Mas, and
Generally, it's considered a leap month.
and also the day. It wasn't considered a day. So all of the conditions that Brahma had given were taken care of. Did I miss anything? Inside, outside, yes, we told that. Day or night. Yes, no animal. Yes, got that.
Got it.
No weapons, but with his nails. Yep, got it.
Tick
Okay.
that box.
We ticked many boxes. So all of the conditions that Brahma had given were met, and Hiranyakashipu was finished. Although even Indra's thunderbolt could not penetrate him, but the sharp nails of the Lord ripped him apart as easily as, Bhagavatam says, a child can rip a wasp in half. Like this. Huh? Yes, that's what Bhagavatam says. So, at that time, after Narasimha Bhagavan completely just decimated the armies of Hiranyakashipu, there was no one left to fight, but he was still fuming with anger. It is said that fire was coming from his hair and from his eyes. He was so angry, and he went and sat down on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. From my understanding, that throne was actually the throne of Indra that Hiranyakashipu had taken over at that time. So he sat there, and he was so angry, there was nothing to cool his anger. At that time, from a very far distance, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all of the demigods, Lakshmi Devi, the consort of Narayan herself, were all there at a distance and offering prayers to the Lord. Very, very fearful. Who is this personality? One thing I wanted to share before I tell this. When Narasimha Bhagavan was destroying the armies of Hiranyakashipu, he was stomping wildly. And it is said that as he was pushing the land masses down, mountains were springing up here and there. So he was so heavy, so powerful. So after all of his fighting, then everyone was offering prayers, but from a distance. They told Brahma, you should go. I gave that benediction. They told Mahadev, you should go. He's like, They're like, Lakshmi, you're his wife. You should. She's like, I've never seen my husband like this before. And then they told little Prahlad, you should go. Completely fearlessly, he ran, went to the Lord, offered his pranam, and Gurudev said that Narasimha Bhagavan picked him up and put him on his lap and began to lather him with affection as a mother cat would with her cub, with her kitten, with so much affection. At that time, Prahlad began to offer so many beautiful prayers. One especially, Srila Gurudev gave a commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where Prahlad is referring to Lord Nrsimhadev as Chakrapane. Oh, you who holds a chakra in his hand. And Srila Gurudev was explaining that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary of that verse. He's saying, oh, Chakrapane. Why is he being referred to as Chakrapane? Because with that chakra, Prahlad is saying, my nature is to love you and serve you. But I have become, due to association with materialists and material energy, I have become coated with so much rust that my own intrinsic nature to love you is not able to manifest. So please, by your chakra, remove this anartha, this rust, and allow my own intrinsic nature to flow toward you, as any particle of iron is automatically attracted to a magnet. Prahlad began to pray to Narasimhadev Bhagavan. And by the presence of Prahlad, Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan became fully appeased, very soft and very merciful. We might not be able to worship Ugra Narasimha, but the form of Narasimha who is melted for Prahlad, this is the form Bhaktivinoda Thakur is referring to in his prayer. We can pray to that form. Please be merciful to me. Please remove these anarthas so that my love for Krishna can manifest. So at that time, would you like to tell Prahlad Maharaj at the end the prayers Narasimhadev is? So Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan, he told to Prahlad, I am very pleased with you. You should ask me for any benediction. Prahlad said, I am your eternal servant, and you are my eternal master. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there it is said, Prahlad is saying, it is not befitting of a servant to ask any special favor from their master, and it is also likewise not befitting for the master to give any special favor to the servant. My nature is that I am always your servant, and you are always my master. So, why should I ask you for any benediction? Narasimhadev Bhagavan said, basically, if you don't ask for a benediction, it won't look good for me. So please ask for something. So the first thing Prahlad asked for, and this is amazing, this is real Vaishnava humility. Adosha Darashi. They don't see the fault in anyone, but they only want everyone else's benefit. They only want to give help to everyone else. Even if so many difficulties personally come to them, still they're only weeping for the suffering jivas of this world. Like our Param Gurudev's pranam mantra, Atimatya Charitraya Swashritanam Chapaline Jiva Duke Sadartaya Sri Nama Premadayane. Seeing the pitiful suffering condition of the jivas of this world, their hearts melt and they only desire to give the best thing, which is Sri Nama Prem. So Prahlad prays to Narasimhadev Bhagavan, okay, if I have to take anything, then please give my father liberation. I know that he has done so many bad things, but please free him from all of that and give him liberation. So Prahlad didn't harbor any enmity or any vengeful mood toward his father for having this horrific mentality of trying to kill him in thousands of different ways. This is the meaning of Trinadapi Sunichena. I was just in the doorway when we first came in, and Srila Gurudev explained, based on this verse, that if you throw a stone or a stick at a tree, that tree will give you its best fruits. It won't complain. You can cut it. It won't cry. It will still give you shade. It will give you its best fruits. This is the nature of Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas are Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. We might approach them in such a bad way, but still they're always desiring our benefit. So Prahlad told Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan, please give my father liberation. He said, oh, that's automatically already done. For any Kanishta Vaishnava, first level Vaishnava, automatically 7 generations, forward, back, and Srila Prabhupada said also in past lives. So it's kind of a, how do you say, 3 or 4 dimensional? This way, in your line, in your lineage. That's why Bali Maharaj had this inclination to surrender to Vamandev because his grandfather is Prahlad Maharaj. But also in your previous lives. 7 generations are automatically liberated. For the Madhyam Adhikari Vaishnava, the middle class Vaishnava, automatically 14 generations are automatically liberated. And for the Uttama Vaishnava, like Prahlad, automatically 21 generations are automatically liberated. So if anyone's concerned or worried, oh, my son's not doing so well, he's not inclined toward bhakti, or my parents aren't inclined toward bhakti, the best thing we can do for anyone that we care about is to become the best devotee of Krishna that we can possibly become. Automatically, they're taken care of. No worries. Like our Gurudev told Sudevi when she said, my grandmother just passed, or is going to pass away, or just passed away.
She passed away.
What do I do? And he said, her daughter is a devotee? She said yes. And he said, and daughter's daughter is also a devotee? She said yes. And he said, and daughter's daughter's daughter is also a devotee? She said yes. He said, then what more? Then what more? It's already preordained. So then, Nrsimhadev Bhagavan said, because that's already taken care of, ask something else. And this is a very important point. Prahlad did not ask for the direct service of Sri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan. He said, please always keep me in the association of your pure devotee, like Narada Muni. Please always keep me in that association so that I can always hear your wonderful glories. And so for us, this is a very powerful instruction that really we're not aspiring for direct service to the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasa. My only identity is that I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the beloved of Srimati Radhika. Gopi Bhartu, Gurudev said, means the beloved of Srimati Radhika. So this mood, approaching in this way, taking shelter of the pure devotees of the Lord, always in anugatya, under guidance. This is the most important thing for us. And so Prahlad is always praying for this. Please always keep me in the association of your pure devotee. So, of course, there is so much more of this pastime and so much more detail of the instructions and the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj that can be told. But on this day, the day of Narasingha Chaturdashi, also, because it can become late, we are going to end now. So Shri Narasingha Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakta Parvar Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Hiranyakashipu's completion ki jai, Tirubha Mahamotsava ki jai, Shri Narasingha Chaturdashi ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande.
Just do a quick kirtan.
Kishori.
We have art if you want as well.
Oh,
Yes.
Arti.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow is the appearance day of little mini Nrsingadev, Radharaman, who also manifested from a stone. Tomorrow, as also the disappearance day, was it Srinivas Acharya? So many holy days, all placed into one. No, Radharaman. Madhavendra Puripad. So it's a very important, auspicious, holy day for us. So whoever can attend, please do. It will be for our eternal benefit to remember their glories together. So now we will have Arti, and then... Oh, before we have Arti, wait. This is important.
Waiting.
So Srila Gurudev had asked devotees in New Braj on this day, Narasingha Chaturdashi, to sing Namaste Narasinghaya. And they sang it like we normally do. Namaste Narasinghaya. And Gurudev was looking at them going, And he said, Krishna Das, stand up. But we're going to sing that part first, but then we're going to go into the other aspect. And Krishna Das rocked that kirtan in such an amazing way. But for now, we're going to sing so everyone can sing Namaste Narasinghaya. He was saying like, Namaste Narasinghaya Prahlad, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to sing the first part and then go into what Gurudev wanted Krishna Das Prabhu to sing.
Sure, just after that, it's possible. Rasika's made a song for Nishinga there. If you're still okay to sing it, we can just do that afterwards before us.
And then after Arti, Radhika is going to sing chanting the names of the Lord. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. because it's very difficult to focus or concentrate after arti.
Do you want to play the guitar? I should move. Yeah. No, I'm just going to move this out of the way. Chanting, chanting, chanting the names of the Lord.
Kishori.
She left.
It is getting late.
Mm-hmm.
They will at work tomorrow.
Maybe.
Don't hold your breath now.
Yodigoro! We'll just sing it right now, really quick.
Chanting. Chanting the names of the Lord.
Hello. She's not here yet. Come on, Radhika, quick, just a little bit.
Mohan says he also wears one.
Oh, here she comes. Okay.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Here, you're gonna face everyone.
I don't think this is in the songbook, though.
Do you need more room than this? Okay.
But I haven't shared this with other people yet.
Okay.
And I'm very, very fortunate to be here and to have our offering for this very special day. And any mistakes or any offenses I might make, please forgive me. Is this one? Yes.
Not this one. Okay. Do you want to put it on the harmonium?
It's okay, like that. Ferocious one, oh, the righteous one, you are the source of all creation. The golden one and the shining one, and then you said it's the white. It was white.
The glowing one, say
The
that.
glowing one.
There you go. Bhagavatam said.
Oh, the glowing one.
Yeah, Harimo.
Oh, the shining one. You are fulgent like the fire and the sun. Please remove all darkness with your light. Please remove all darkness with your light. And I bow to you. Oh, I bow to you. I bow to you, and I sing to you. Oh, I sing to you. I sing to you.
Interesting. It's the same chord as chanting.
Chanting.
Chanting the names of the Lord.
It's great.
Now we will have arti for
It was a
Thakurji.
beautiful offering.
Thank you.
Everything off the floor. Guys, if you stand up.